came as a normal child and you continue your life as a normal person. Now I will tell you about the man who was born normal and turned into a criminal in my own way. If you are ready, you can switch to listening mode. Ramirez was born on February 29, 1960, in El Paso, Texas, the youngest of 5 children of Julian and Mercedes Ramirez. His father was a former police officer. He was an angry person. His father was often abusive to him. He once tied her to the entrance of a cemetery. He had left it there until the next day. It is not known what his father did. But there was another person who had a major impact on his life. His older cousin was Miguel Ramirez. Miguel served in the U.S. military during the Vietnam War and frequently abused women. He photographed what he did to the soldiers he killed and showed them to young Ramirez. He even told him in detail how he did it, until he found out how he killed the Vietnamese soldiers in secret. Reportedly, Miguel had an argument with his wife. He shot him dead right in front of your eyes. "Here's what you should do to those who disturb you," he said. After all these events, Ramirez was born innocent and sinless, like every human being, but now he had become sullen, withdrawn, and worthless. Ramirez's father, his cousin, his own family, they created a monster. Ramirez's family, who were more evil than he was, created a criminal machine, and they were released into the streets and continued their lives as normal people. Ramirez was a terrible killer, but the real killer gave birth to a killer. News of a murder that took place at a hotel in the Tenderloin district of San Francisco on April 10th, 1984. The police station has been notified. Police teams who arrived at the scene found a 9-year-old boy named May Long in the basement of the hotel, tied to a water pipe. He had been beaten and sexually assaulted before he died. This was his first known murder. They couldn't stop him anymore. Life in Los Angeles was pretty good. At that time, in 1984, it was hosting the Olympics. People were enthusiastic and happy. The crime rate in the city had dropped significantly. Until that happened. It had been 2 months since a child died on April 10th. On June 28th, Jenny Vinco was brutally murdered in her Glassell Park apartment. She was stabbed multiple times while sleeping in her bed, and his throat was cut so deep, his head was almost severed from his body. There had not been a murder like this in about a year, but on March 17th, 1985, 34-year-old Dale Okazaki was found dead in her home in California. When the police arrived at the scene, the garage door was open. There were blood stains from the garage door to the inside of the house. Dale Okazaki was lying on the floor in the kitchen. He was killed by a single gunshot to the head. Except for small things, there was no trace to identify the killer. He was still out there, and he could have killed someone else at any moment. By May 29th, 1985, 3 more murders were committed. On the night of May 29th, the killer broke into the home of 83-year-old Mabel and her disabled 81-year-old sister, Florence, in California. He found a hammer in the kitchen, then tied the wires together, beat and killed her. After killing someone, he felt very relaxed. He even found time to have a snack. It was like a job he was taking a break from. But this murder was different from the others. It left a mark for the first time. A pentagram he drew in his bedroom. The lipstick Belle used. This was the first sign he left. What could a pentagram mean? Was this just a special sign he used, or was it his interest in Satanism? The police were now sure that this was a serial killer. The media now called him the Night Stalker. The Night Stalker who terrorized California. It attacked again yesterday, and people are wondering about its next attack. I think everyone is afraid. I won't leave my door open, even for my son, if he wants to stay on the street. I don't understand why it can't be identified. Of course it lives somewhere. Someone knows. He's a weird-looking guy. Someone must know. Most serial killers think they are better and smarter than everyone else, and they try to prove it by committing murders and not getting caught. They think, I'm smart, you're too stupid to catch me. And on top of that, when you see what they do in the newspapers and on TV, they like it. Another type of fame. He killed Mary Louise on the night of July 2nd, 1.5 months after the last murder. On July 5th, he beat Whitney Bennett badly but did not kill her. Likewise, on July 7th, Ramirez burglarized Nelson's home. Tell him where the valuables are, he said. When the killer showed him his belongings, if you lie to me, I will kill you, he said. I swear to God that I am telling the truth, said Nelson. The murderer replied to him, swear not to God, but to the devil. Thanks to the oath he swore to the devil, he left him alone. On the night of July 7th, the police found another trace, the killer's shoe print. It had a different pattern. It was measured as size 44. The police determined that the shoe was an Avia. According to the survivors, it was a black shoe. It was a brand that had just started to be produced. After research, these are Avia brand black shoes. It turned out that only 6 of them were brought to that area, and only 1 of them was sold in Los Angeles. But the killer used a fake name when buying the shoe. This shoe found did not show who he was, but it did prove that he committed many different murders. Thanks to the information provided by some of the victims, a sketch of the killer was drawn. Now the killer had a face, with curly hair, deep eyes, and jet black eyes. For a brief explanation, I ask you to listen. Everyone, please take a closer look at this drawing. This is someone who breaks into houses at night and kills people. On August 24th, the killer stole an orange Toyota vehicle. That night and the following nights, he tried to steal from different places with his car. He made attempts. On the same day, 30-year-old Bill Carnes broke into the home of his 29-year-old fiancée, Inez Erickson. He shot Bill in the head and sexually assaulted his fiancée, Erickson. Tell him the Night Stalker is here, he said to Erickson on the way. The stolen Toyota vehicle was found at the Wilshire Center in Los Angeles on August 28th, even though the killer cleaned the vehicle to leave no evidence. The police found a single fingerprint on the rearview mirror. The killer was identified by fingerprint scanning. Richard Munoz Ramirez, 25, a Texan. Ramirez on December 12th, 1984. Before it all started, he was arrested for car theft, and there was a photo taken of him. Now they knew who the serial killer was. For identifying the Night Stalker, we are very pleased. A man named Richard Ramirez. Richard Ramirez. This photo was taken about 8 months ago in Los Angeles, but they had to find him. He didn't know Ramirez had been seen. On August 30th, 1985, Ramirez was unaware that he was the headline news story on almost every newspaper and television station in California. He took a bus to Tucson, Arizona, to visit his brother. He returned to Los Angeles on the morning of August 31st. After landing, he entered a grocery store in East Los Angeles. A group of elderly Mexican women frightened him after describing him as El Matador, meaning the killer. Ramirez saw his own face on the front page of the newspaper, and he ran out of the store in panic. When he came to a street and wanted to steal a car from a woman sitting in her car, he collapsed to the ground after receiving a blow to the head. The police arrived just as the mob was about to lynch him. They arrested him and put him in the police car. The Night Stalker was now caught. Richard Ramirez was arrested after being caught by an angry mob. LA police arrested the man they believe is the Night Stalker for identifying the person we detained as the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez. We are proud. On September 20th, 1989, Ramirez was convicted on all charges: 14 murders, 5 attempted murders, 11 sexual assaults, and 14 burglaries. Ramirez was a monster. Ramirez died on June 7th, 2013, at Marin General Hospital in Green Bay, California, from complications related to B-cell lymphoma. He was a killer who had no remorse for any of his murders. Thank you for listening to me.